Good morning, friends, it's me, Waddles. At long last, the wild update, it is finally here. With the wild update out now, I'm thinking this is like basically the perfect time ever for some wild update life hacks. From surviving the deep dark to rescuing the ally a whole lot easier, these life hacks will make your life way easier in the latest Minecraft update. Down below, drop one life hack that you've got for me and for everybody else watching this video. Drop a like, and let's go. Unfortunately for us, there's really no easy way to move frogs around your world. I mean, these things are insanely slow. If you hold a slime ball and walk around, I mean, look at these things. The walk is beautiful, but it's slow. Unfortunately, the developers stated that the frog is too big for a bucket. Never mind, LA bucket. Of course, we do have tadpole bucket, but what if you wanted to move the frog? Well, the most efficient, consistent way to move a frog is with the lead. Put a lead on the frog and then hold the slime ball in your hand and move, and you'll be able to pull this frog along with you a whole lot quicker than you normally would. This will help you transport these frogs back to your base. The Skulk Sensor and the Skulk Shrieker are both really cool blocks, but sometimes it could admittedly be a little bit tricky to find these things. If somehow you're able to locate the deep dark biome and can only find a catalyst, I don't know, maybe you're like afraid of the place, don't really want to go in or something, well, then you're not completely out of luck. If you're trying to get your hands on shriekers or sensors, all you're going to need really is a catalyst. Silk touch that catalyst, bring it back over to your base near your mob farm or something, and then use the mob farm for a little while. Shriekers and catalysts can actually both generate from the Skulk spread. Now, these generation chances are going to be pretty low. It's not going to happen every single time, but as you can see here, it definitely, absolutely can happen. The sensors are a little bit more common than the shriekers. When it comes to mud, oh man, this block is sweet. Building with mud, ultimate vibe. Mud is such a good looking building block. Combine mud with a little bit of wheat inside of your crafting table, you get packed mud. Then take this packed mud, condense it into bricks, and man, what did I just say about mud? Like seriously, it's great looking. But did you know when it comes to mud, it's not only about the aesthetics. Check this one out. This one blew my mind when I first knew about it. So you have a hopper right there, then we have a mud block right above it, and then on top of the mud, I drop an item, and where did that item go? Where did it go? Where did it go? And where did it go? Well, because mud is a little bit shorter than a full block, hoppers can actually pick items up when they're right below the mud. Truly, there's a lot of different uses for this, but farms. Farms is the biggest use for this thing. You can compact things down. No more minecarts, maybe. The warden is big, bad, and dangerous. There's no denying him. If you ever find yourself inside of an ancient city, anywhere near a warden, then you're going to notice that things get dark, and they get dark continuously and really quickly. If you lose your direct line of sight on the warden, with this whole darkness thing continuously happening, it could definitely be a little bit tricky to find this thing. Lucky for us, inside of the settings, the developers have built 2 toggles that can actually help you out. The first one is going to be inside of music and sounds. Directional audio. If you turn this setting on and you play the game with headphones, then the sounds actually come from the direction where the warden is. Like if I turn this way, I can clearly hear that the warden is like over there. It's like insane. Wait, what's that? Other games have had this for years. Minecraft finally caught up. Oh, you sound salty to me. The other setting that might come in handy inside of the deep dark is actually inside of accessibility settings. We've got this darkness pulsing slider right here. If we go ahead and turn this all the way down to off, then darkness isn't really going to pulse when you're inside of the ancient city. Admittedly, this does kind of take away from the experience, but check this out. I'm definitely still near the warden, like it's somewhere over there, and it's not really that dark at all anymore. I can see pretty easily. Is it technically cheating if it's built into the game? I mean, I don't know. You be the judge of it. Do you find yourself wanting to play Minecraft, but you don't really know what to do? You're bored? Well, if that's you and you're on Java Edition, consider checking out the new place command. The new place command is pretty interesting. You can use this command to place structures into the game. Like a mansion. I've always wondered what a woodland mansion would look like inside of the Badlands biome. Because I've been wondering, my life has felt kind of devoid of meaning. Until now. Now I know. Admittedly, in survival, maybe not the most practical command, but if you're gearing up for survival, then this is a big one. If you'd like to just A, learn more about the structures and how they generate, or B, generate a structure in, check it out, and maybe practice some survival strategies, this command could be pretty useful for you. I learned this next one from the developers, so big shout out to them. If you ever find yourself at an outpost trying to rescue an LA, but maybe struggling a little bit, and there's an iron golem at that outpost, well, then you could actually make your life, your job, a whole lot easier by setting that iron golem free. So check this out. Here I am over at the outpost. This poor iron golem has been captured by these savages. Until this moment right here. Okay. Do something. There we go. That's the action that we need. We set the iron golem free, and then we can go over here to this LA cage over here, hopefully trying to avoid the pillagers, break into this thing really quick, item, and then we make our getaway, and we get away. Hopefully the iron golem is somewhere around here still, trying to take out the pillagers. Have you ever found yourself inside of 1.19 desperately searching for the deep dark biome, but clueless as to where to start? Well, you should start with mountains. The deep dark biome typically generates below mountains. I've never looked under the ground in this area right here, but I can almost guarantee it for sure. Somewhere under here, we're gonna have the deep dark biome. Yeah, you see it right there? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because Minecraft generation can be a little bit random, it's not a guarantee that every single time it will work, but it's a pretty good spot to start. If you're trying to find more 1.19 things, I've got a video on finding literally everything in the entire update. Check it out after this one. Once you've found the deep dark biome, you can get a skull catalyst, you can get all these other skull blocks. It's pretty cool. You can also, unfortunately, run into the warden. The smartest move, once you've located the deep dark biome, is to move into this thing and quickly take out all of the shriekers. But what if you wanted to see the warden one day? Well, if you're off the rails insane, and you actually want to see the warden one day for some reason, then you're going to need a natural shrieker, something that generated in your world. Once you break it and place it back down, it will not work. I recommend saving at least one natural shrieker inside of your world just in case you ever want to. But if you're going to save the shrieker, you should do one of two things. Option number one, go around the shrieker and take out all of the sensors so you don't accidentally set this thing off. Or option number two, light. If you light up around the shrieker, then the warden actually won't be able to spawn. Now you're going to need to get this light level to at least 12 in an 11 by 11 box around the shrieker, so just taking out the sensors might be a little bit easier. And if you accidentally happen to set off a shrieker while doing this, don't worry. As long as it's the first time you set off a shrieker in your world, no warden will actually spawn. When it comes to the skull shrieker, we're working on a little bit of a 3 strikes, 4 strike, you're out mechanic. The first 3 times you set off a shrieker, you're fine and you're safe. The 4th time, well, the 4th time is when the warden comes. Unless, of course, you've lit up the entire area around the shrieker, then you're good. You can stand on this thing and let it scream all day long. Finally, for the screaming shrieker, at least for now, if you're unsure if a shrieker is natural or not, check this out. We have a shrieker right there, and we have a shrieker right there. There's actually a visual difference between these shriekers. This shrieker has the can summon tag set to true, which means it's natural. This one, I obviously just placed down. It can't summon one, so it's not natural. The memory trick here on this one, if it moves fast, you better move fast. Alright, yes, I know, I'm a poet. It's beautiful, truly. You can thank me by leaving a like. The warden, the wonderful, the bad, the terrible, the big, the beautiful, the bold, the warden. So the warden, if unfortunately you've set the warden off, your best move is definitely not charging this thing and attacking it. The warden has a total of 500 health. That is the mob with the most health in the entire game. Trying to fight this thing is a terrible idea. It's insanely strong. Even in the best armor in the game, if the warden starts using its sonic boom, it's 2 hits and you're done. The demon of the depths is also immune to fire and can fall like 200 blocks and shake it off, so your best bet is running away. The life hack here for you for this one is to simply not take out the warden. Just don't do it. If the warden summons in, you need to move away quickly. It's bad. It's not good. Also, if somehow you are able to take the warden out, you will be disappointed. No advancement or anything like that for it. All you get is a single skull catalyst and 5 experience. Literally not worth it at all. Just run. Alright, not the best life hack. To make that one a little bit better, one technique, one thing that you could change in the settings to maybe make it a little bit easier has to do with the video settings. Lower the simulation distance as far as you can, 5 chunks. Then, as soon as you're more than 5 chunks away, the warden is locked up. It's frozen and it can't do anything. Inside of a small cave that may only span 3 to 4 chunks, maybe it's not the most useful thing, but inside of an ancient city that is absolutely way more than 5 chunks wide typically, yeah, this is actually potentially pretty useful. Let's talk about the ancient city a little bit for a minute. The ancient city is a beautiful, wonderful structure. When it comes to locating chests inside of the ancient city, if you've been following the content, then you know I've said it a lot. It's always going to be inside of the buildings. There are no loot chests inside of these walls that stretch around the city. Unfortunately for us, in the center, there's also no loot chests. The only chest that you can find in the center is going to be this one every once in a while, but it's really not worth it that much. Unless you really need 1 golden apple. If you're looking for golden apples and good loot, your best bet is going to be everywhere else inside of the ancient city. This structure is called the altar structure. Every single time the altar generates, you will always have 1 skeleton skull generating the back of this thing. There's actually a secret back entrance to the structure too. It's down the hall from the skull. From the outside of the altar, looking at the back of this thing, the entrance is going to be right there. You go up that staircase, and on your left will be the skull. More than 1 altar can absolutely generate inside of an ancient city. In this shot right here, you can see 3 separate altars. That means 3 more skeleton skulls. But wait, there's more. This structure too, this ruined pillar, will always have a skeleton skull on it as well. On the back of this thing, right there. The alley is absolutely wonderful, like it really is, it's pretty cool. However, the alley does have one big weakness, or two, or maybe more than two, now that I think about it. If you're setting up any kind of item sorter with the alley, be careful with fences and walls. The devs have seemed to put a lot of focus into fixing the alley's pathfinding, but even with all of the wonderful pathfinding bugs, the alley does seem to get a little bit confused with the fences and walls sometimes. Just be careful. If you have an alley and you want to set up some kind of item sorter with an alley and note blocks, then the note block needs to ring once every 30 seconds, not continuously. To ring the note block once in a while, repeaters, a simple circuit like this, can help the note block continuously ring. If you add more repeaters to this circuit, it will ring less often. Make sure you extend the delay of the repeaters so the signal doesn't go too quick. If the signal does go too quick, that's fine. The alley will still be able to figure it out. Unfortunately for us, we can't put a block above the note block though, because then the note block is silenced. We can't hear it, and the alley can't hear it either. Personal preference on this bit, but to me, I find the least annoying note block sound to be the bit sound. To make the bit sound, place an emerald block below the note block, and you get that. I mean, I feel like that's not bad. If you need experience fast, like maybe you're just a few levels short of that enchantment, then go to the deep dark biome and start mining the skulk blocks. You get experience for mining these blocks. If you're looking for slightly higher amounts of experience, then try mining the actual interesting blocks inside of the biome, like the sensors and the catalyst. Catalyst drop 20 experience when mined. The skulk sensor and the shrieker both drop 5 experience when mined. Froglights are pretty cool. They're a brand new type of light block added to the game in this update, but to get froglights, especially to get a lot of them, it's going to be kind of tricky. Frog, eat the magma. Bastions are wonderful, but not all bastions are equal when it comes to Froglight. There is a specific type of bastion that generates with a magma cube spawner in the middle of it. If you're looking to farm Froglight, that's the bastion that you're going to want to look for. This bastion, though it does look really cool and has an evil face and everything like that, this isn't the bastion that you're looking for. This bastion that generated just a couple hundred blocks away from that other bastion, also pretty cool looking, but still not it. This bastion, this is way more like it. This one from the outside looks to be some kind of gigantic wall of blackstone. If we go ahead and move to the inside of this bastion, in the center down low, we'll find a magma cube spawner hanging right here. This magma cube spawner is ideal for a Froglight farm. But don't worry, you have another option. If you can't find that specific bastion, it's cool, I understand, sometimes they don't generate. All you're really gonna need is a basalt deltas biome. If you can find the basalt deltas biome, take out some of the lava so your frog, doesn't fall into the lava. Do those things and you'll actually have a decent Froglight farm inside of the basalt deltas biome. There are cool ways to automate it too. Mangrove trees are pretty cool. They're also the first brand new overworld type of wood to be added to the game in literally years. The only problem here is these trees are sometimes really tall. If you find yourself inside of the mangrove forest biome struggling to get wood and struggling to get saplings because all of these trees are generated next to each other, well, actually, there's an easier way. You don't need an axe at all. To get these saplings, all you're going to need to do is run around and look for them growing, and if there are none growing, grab some bone meal the bottom of a mangrove leaf block, you get this thing, then bone meal this thing a couple more times, and there you go. A sapling, just like that. You didn't have to cut the tree down. Just like all other trees, propagules will also fall out of the trees when these leaves decay, but decaying the leaves inside of the mangrove forest biome might be a little bit tricky. Is the axolotl your favorite mob in the entire game? Well, oh boy, if it is, I've got great news for you. Inside of the mangrove swamp biome, you can actually find a tropical fish generating. If you love the axolotl and you love the mangrove swamp biome, head over to this place. This is the perfect place to set up an axolotl farm. No more need for disgusting war motion outposts for you. It's all in the mangrove swamp. Also, inside of the mangrove swamp are slime. Slime can actually spawn inside of the mangrove swamp biome just like the normal swamp biome. The only problem here is space. If you're looking to set up a slime farm in 1.19, don't really want to do the whole slime chunk thing and only really have the mangrove swamp biome, well then consider going into the mangrove swamp biome and clearing out some of the trees somehow. Definitely don't burn the trees. Terrible idea. In fact, I don't know what kind of monster would ever run through the mangrove swamp with a flint and steel and just torch the trees. It's terrible. It's a waste of the new wood. But anyways, clear off the trees a little bit, make some space that is big, flat, and open, and there you go. The slime will be able to spawn. They can spawn on top of mud. But yeah, seriously, don't burn the forest down. To be clear, I didn't start this fire. It was a rabbit on the ground. I saw it do it. Don't burn it down. Just chop down the trees. It'd be pure profit. And so, Minecraft 1.19, tips, tricks, life hacks, whatever you want to call them, there you go. There they are. Those are some things that you should know about 1.19 that should make your life a little bit easier. If you watched all the way to this point in the video, thank you. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, real quick, I would highly appreciate a like, and if you aren't subscribed and you like content like this, then subscribe. I post stuff like this all the time. Subscribing is the best way to never miss it. Fire Dragon 19, Infamous MC, Kira and Maeve, and the Great Vegeta, my patrons, thank you so much for the support. It's been me, your boy Waddles. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.